Hello everyone. In the last session, we studied the inspection following the disassembly of a single-cylinder diesel engine, gaining a thorough understanding of its structure. Now, let's delve into how to properly reinstall the single-cylinder diesel engine. This course builds on understanding the structure of the single-cylinder diesel engine, focusing on the assembly and disassembly to deepen your comprehension of the engine's design. One, assembly of piston and connecting rod components. 1. Installing piston rings. Piston rings come in two types, oil rings and compression rings. The oil ring removes excess oil from the cylinder, while the compression rings seal the combustion chamber. Piston rings are metal rings with substantial outward expansion and are inserted into grooves on the piston. Install the piston rings in the following order using a ring expander. 1. Oil ring. 2. Second compression ring. 3. First compression ring. 2. Installing the connecting rod and piston. 1. Clean the piston pin hole, piston pin, and small end of the connecting rod. 2. Apply clean engine oil to the piston pin hole, piston pin, and small end of the connecting rod. 3. Attach the small end of the connecting rod to the piston using the piston pin and secure it with the pin lock ring. 3. Installing the assembled piston and connecting rod into the cylinder. 1. Lubricate the piston rings with clean engine oil and arrange the ring gaps. Ensure the gaps are not aligned with the piston pin or perpendicular to it, and stagger the gaps so they are not on the same line. 2. Insert the assembled piston and connecting rod into the cylinder from above, with the connecting rod going in first. Use a specialized tool to compress the piston rings and gently tap the piston into the cylinder with a wooden stick. 3. Position the connecting rod onto the crankshaft's connecting rod journal and install the connecting rod cap. 4. Tighten the connecting rod bolts to the specified torque. 5. Slowly rotate the crankshaft to ensure it turns smoothly. 2. Assembly of the valve components and cylinder head installation. 1. Assembling the valve components. 1. Apply clean engine oil to the valve stems and insert the valves into the valve guides. 2. Install the valve springs and lubricate them. 3. Attach the spring seats. 4. Use specialized tools to install the valve locks. 2. Installing the cylinder head. 1. Clean the cylinder and cylinder head mating surfaces and set the piston to the top dead center position. 2. Install the cylinder head gasket, ensuring the alignment marks are properly positioned. 3. Place the cylinder head onto the engine and hand tighten the cylinder head nuts. Then, tighten them diagonally in several stages using a wrench. 4. Use a torque wrench to tighten the cylinder head nuts to the manufacturer's specified torque. 3. Installing the rocker arm. 1. Install the valve tappets. 2. Install the rocker arm assembly. 3. Adjust the intake and exhaust valve clearances to the manufacturer's specifications. 3. Installation of other components and valve clearance adjustment. 1. Installing the high-pressure fuel pump and governor. 1. Clean and install the high-pressure fuel pump. 2. Install the diesel engine governor mechanism. 3. Attach the gear cover. 4. Install the high-pressure fuel lines and injectors. 2. Installing the radiator, fuel tank, and flywheel. Radiator installation. 1. Mount the radiator onto the engine block, aligning with the mounting bolt holes. 2. Secure with bolts, tightening them diagonally in several stages according to the manufacturer's torque specifications. 3. Install the cooling water tank float assembly. Fuel tank installation. 1. Mount the fuel tank onto the engine block. 2. Tighten the fuel tank mounting bolts. 3. Attach the diesel engine lifting hook. Flywheel installation. 1. Install the flywheel, aligning the zero mark on the flywheel with the mark on the fuel tank. 2. Tighten the flywheel nuts with specialized tools. Side cover installation. Install the side cover bolts diagonally. 3. Installing the intake and exhaust assemblies. 1. Install the air filter and intake manifold assembly. 2. Install the exhaust pipe and muffler assembly. 4. Installing the drain plug. 5. Checking and adjusting valve clearance. 1. Rotate the flywheel to align the zero mark with the mark on the fuel tank. 2. Manually operate the rocker arm to check if there is clearance between the rocker arms and the valves. If one has clearance and the other doesn't, then continuing turning the crankshaft for one circle to make sure that both the inlet and exhaust valves have clearance with the rocker arm. 3. Set the intake and exhaust valve clearances to the manufacturer's specifications, generally 0.25 to 0.30 mm for intake and 0.30 to 0.35 mm for exhaust, with intake being smaller. Installing peripheral components. 1. Install the air filter and intake pipe. 2. Install the exhaust pipe and muffler. 3. Install the fuel supply and return pipes. 4. Install the cylinder head cover. 5. Install the oil pan. 7. Filling fluids. 1. Add coolant. 2. Add diesel fuel. 3. Add engine oil. 8. Rotating the crankshaft to start the engine. In this lesson, we have covered the disassembly steps and precautions for a single-cylinder diesel engine. You may practice these steps independently to reinforce your memory. Remember to always adhere to the disassembly precautions and ensure proper protective measures in preparation to avoid injury. Lastly, consider what factors are necessary for the correct pneumatic operation of a single-cylinder diesel engine after installation. This concludes our lesson. Thank you for your attention.